Hi, and welcome to ISIS's workshop on gaming. This one is called Game On or Game Over. During this workshop, we're going to learn the benefits of video games, drawbacks of excessive gaming, how gaming affects the brain, the issue of overstimulation, and strategies for balance and healthy habits. So, why does this topic matter? Gaming is now a major part of childhood entertainment. Anybody you know, I'm sure, plays some video games. Easily accessible on phones, tablets, consoles, and PCs. It's basically gaming in your hands. Games are designed to be rewarding and stimulating, so something that they're wanting to do, eager to do. Children's brains are especially sensitive to frequent stimulation. So let's first talk about the benefits of video games. There are positive effects of gaming. It supports learning and development, encourages persistence, and improves certain physical and mental skills. Um, we're first going to touch on cognitive strength, strengthens memory and attention, enhances problem solving and critical thinking, promotes decision making under pressure. These are all things that they can get through gaming. It also helps with hand-eye coordination, better coordination and reflexes. It makes them fast to reaction time and spatial awareness. Excuse me, timing and accuracy improvement, and can support skills in sports, arts, or music. When it comes to persistence and motivation, learning through challenge is really important for children. So, games have rewards to effort and persistence, teaches goal setting and resilience, builds confidence through progress and achievement. Creativity and imagination, creative expression in games. So, sandbox and building games inspire imagination. Designing, building, and storytelling opportunities encourages exploration and curiosity. So, different games have different pros, especially with creativity and imagination. Relaxation and emotional release. So, creative expression in games, like we talked about during previous, it just encourages exploration. Um, so let's talk about the drawbacks of video games. Physical inactivity. So it's not a physical um, event for them, like playing basketball or baseball, any of the other sports. So there's lack of movement, and that encourages them to sit for long periods of time. It affects their posture, reduces physical fitness, may lead to weight gain or back and neck pain. Emotional effects, so frustration and irritability. Intense games can cause mood swings, difficulty accepting loss or stopping play. Those children that may not be able to regulate their emotions. If they start losing, um, okay. So, intense games, we talked about mood swings, difficulty accepting loss or stopping play. If they can't regulate their emotions, sometimes they have an outburst or they quit. Emotional regulation just becomes harder. Academic and behavioral impact. School and focus challenges, reduced attention span, lower motivation for homework, preference for instant rewards over effort. So the work that they might be doing in school is going to be a little bit less viewed in a positive light because they're enjoying quick rewards when they play games, and less of that at school. Spending and impulsivity. So, in game purchases, many games include microtransactions, encourages impulsive spending habits, shifts focus from fun to reward collection. So, that encourages for them to be more impulsive and spend money, maybe not think it through um, when they're using maybe their parents' cards. So, let's talk about the brain and stimulation. How gaming affects the brain. Dopamine and the reward system. So, video games trigger dopamine release. That's that pleasure chemical we have in our brain. And repeated rewards train the brain to seek constant excitement. It also creates short term motivation, but long term overstimulation. The cycle of overstimulation. So, when the brain craves more constant stimulation, it reshapes focus and mood. Children feel bored or restless during quiet time, leads to decreased attention and patience, which will be shown more in school. Similar patterns to behavioral addiction, because these games can be addicting. Downtime and self-regulation. Difficulty handling downtime, so the quiet time where their brain's not being overstimulated. Uh, they might have trouble relaxing or focusing when they don't have those screens. Discomfort with boredom or silence. Difficulty winding down before sleep, so we want to make sure that we're not using any devices, tablets, phone, an hour before sleeping. Restless behavior when stimulation is removed. So once they don't have that constant stimulation in their brain, their body kind of goes into withdrawal. And so they're looking for more stimulation. So, how do we find balance? So, finding balance, healthy gaming guidelines, practical tips for parents and caregivers. So, what does that look like? Limit recreational gaming to under 2 hours per day. Make sure you're having a limit on how long they can play. Choose age appropriate, nonviolent games, schedule screen free zones, meal times, bedtime, making sure they don't have their devices at the table or before bed. Also, allowing them to understand that games are at a certain time and the rest is playtime, maybe with some toys or outside time. Uh, encourage outdoor, creative, or hands on activities. Encourage variety. So, balancing stimulation and rest, mix the fast paced and calm activities, promote reading, drawing, and music, protect unstructured boredom time for imagination. Encourage them to come up with their own games. Maybe they can react the game that they're playing and do it in real life. Help children find satisfaction in real world tasks. So allow them to have that balance of being able to play the game for short periods of time, keeping them busy on the off time, so that they understand that both can be just as entertaining. Lead by example. So, how do we do that? We model healthy habits. Parents' screen behavior influences children. So, if you're a gamer yourself, you got to show that you can do both. You can play your game for a couple hours, and you can also do family time and play outside of it. Um, Show balance between work, play, and technology, praise effort and creativity, and not screen achievements. So, yes, we want to be proud of them when they complete a level in their gaming, but we also want to be extra, um, praise them extra when they're doing something outside, maybe coloring or completed their blocks or, anything that's kind of more creative and hands on. So, final thoughts. Games are not bad, they're not good, they got that medium, right? So game on with the balance. We just got to make sure everything's balanced. Everything is good in small increments, right? Video games can teach, inspire, and entertain, but they also keep the brain from getting the rest and real world experience that it needs. Healthy gaming is about balance and not restriction. So just making sure that they have balance rather than using it as a punishment. So, summary, just keep it in moderation, keep it reasonable, use mindfulness, be aware of overstimulation, balance, combine gaming with active, creative, and restful time, as well as connections, support real world experiences and routines. So, keep your normal life while also including gaming at a minimum and moderation.